might be the lord of the kaiju rising. Throw it right back when I fight you, lightning. Breaking all the plans when I'm fusing with the lads. Yeah, mega kaiju breaking right through. It's frightening. Japan, I'm the bomb. How these kiddies crying to their moms. Alien, heading straight to Fuji when I roll up. Scary and eating every human fruit roll up. Only 4 from the 3, you ain't messing with.
Pacific Rim Uprising. The 2018 film. It's approximately a 5.6 on IMDb. 1 hour and 54 minutes long. This one is not directed by Guillermo. Unfortunately, he was filming another movie at this time and passed on the film. Had a budget of $130,000. It cleared about $200 million. $129 million, and cleared $200 million. And we follow the character of Jake Pentecost, whose dad was Jaeger Pentecost from the first film, and one of the heroes from the Battle of the Breach, who did sacrifice himself to save the world 10 years ago. Now we're in 2035, and Jake is basically a kaiju dealer. He deals pieces, he steals pieces, he lives lives of luxury in slums where basically he goes to places that are no longer vacant, no longer taken, and he stays there. He's basically living on the streets in the richest neighborhoods that have been abandoned. He always says, "I'm not like my father," but to be honest with you, once you get through the film, you'll see that he's very much like his father. Also has several characters that are notable return. Mako Mori returns in this film. Spoiler alert, she does end up passing in the film, which sucks. We meet also Amara, who is a 15-year-old who is trying to basically survive, building her own Jaegers as well. She has like this little shop she's built. It's kind of like an underground shop, and basically what happens is Jake gets caught by the police with her at her shop as he's trying to escape these thugs that he owes a debt to. And basically at this point, he's then petitioned by Mako Mori to either go to jail or come back and be a Jaeger fighter, as they are rebuilding the army, as they've now had success. But they are getting basically some reports that there are some kaijus that are spreading around the world, up in the Sydney area and other parts of the world, and they need to be defended, so they're assembling some teams. She also wants him to train Amara as well. So they end up coming back to the Shatterdome, and he's training Amara. And of course, Amara's getting crap from people because she's had to spend a lot of time to be proven, but she is a formidable Jaeger. So at this point in the game, there is a huge plot twist. People are finding out a little more background history here, as Newt, Dr. Newt, and Herman are discovering more and more about what's happening with the brains of these Jaegers that are turning on the other Jaegers. What's going on? What's happening to them? Well, they've been implanted with kaiju brains. Somehow that has happened, and there's a big twist behind that. I'll let you guys watch the film. Of course, I'm spoiling a lot of this. Now, every time I look at Herman, I think of Cody Rhodes. I don't know why, I just do. He just looks like Cody Rhodes to me. But, we get towards the final battle, towards the end, and basically Jake is now taking over his father role, kind of leading the rest of the Jaegers. And he makes that epic speech, we have to find these kaiju and kill them to save the world. And there's another group that is there that is kind of watching them as they go. It's another protective group. And basically that's it. That's the premise of the film, basically. Um, Now, some people, they don't like this one as much as the first one. Understandable. I really liked this film. Yes, some parts of it seem like Transformers, but I really liked this movie. Yes, there wasn't as many kaiju in this film, but I did like the relationships that I seen. I liked the fact that they did some tributes to the previous characters. I really liked the twist. I thought it was absolutely necessary. If you watch the first Pacific Rim, you know that Newt was a little crazy anyway, and he was kind of obsessed with the kaiju, so it makes sense to have the plot twist end the way that it did. And like I said, I really, really liked Herman's character. I think he's hysterical. There's some funny parts in the film too, like whenever one of the Jaegers fell to the ground, it sounded off a car alarm. I laughed out loud during that. The fight scenes were great. I love the ending. The ending was fantastic. Just overall, I enjoyed Pacific Rim Uprising. Um, is it as good as the first one? In my opinion, it's close. I know that sounds crazy, but I really liked it. I do want to thank Mr. Bones and Interweb Kaiju and my homies for encouraging me to watch these. And I'm so glad to have these in the collection. Looking forward to any future films from the Pacific Rim franchise. But, because you never know what they could do. They could flip these around, and I think there's already talks of there being a third film. And if you've seen the end of Pacific Rim Uprising, you'd know why. So my thoughts on Pacific Rim Uprising, I give this one a 3.5 Boglins out of 5, close to a 4. And I've really enjoyed reviewing these Pacific Rim films for Kaiju Theater. Catch up with you guys later. It's Hobbs Horror. Catch on that flippity flip. Peace.
Pulling at the spike is on the mother door. Break a motherfucker, give no fuck no more. 100 on the ground.